We all acknowledge that Earth is a geoid, a beautifully spherical planet suspended in the vastness of space. Indeed, this is the common consensus held by scientists, scholars, and most of the world. But let's take a moment to indulge in a little thought experiment. Let's dare to entertain a different reality, one where the Earth isn't a geoid but instead a flat plane. This is not an invitation to disbelieve established science, but a celebration of human curiosity and open-mindedness. Science, after all, thrives on questioning, exploring, and imagining. So, what if Earth were flat? What would our geography look like? How would gravity function? What about our magnetic field, our climate, and our technological advancements? Today we'll embark on this intriguing journey of imagination and speculation. We'll try to envision life on a flat Earth. So, buckle up for this fascinating adventure. And remember, your likes, shares, and subscriptions help this channel grow. Firstly, consider the geography of a flat Earth. The concept of a flat Earth dramatically shifts our understanding of landmass distribution. For instance, the round Earth's spherical nature allows for the even distribution of land and water across its surface. But on a flat Earth, this balance could be dramatically altered. Imagine the continents sprawling expansively, potentially without the natural boundaries we're familiar with. The concept of down under for Australia becomes moot, and the North and South poles? Well, they might just be outlying borders on this expansive plain. Now, let's talk about ocean currents. On our spherical Earth, ocean currents act like a global conveyor belt, transporting warm and cold water around the globe. They play a crucial role in regulating our climate and distributing nutrients that sustain life in our oceans. But on a flat Earth, this system could be upended. Furthermore, the lack of a spherical shape could also affect tides. Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun on our oceans. On a flat Earth, we may see dramatically different tidal patterns, or perhaps none at all. And what about our mountains, our valleys, our rivers? The processes that form these features are closely tied to our planet's spherical shape and its rotation. On a flat Earth, these might look wildly different or may not exist in the way we know them at all. So as you can see, the geography of a flat Earth isn't just about a change in shape. It's about a complete transformation of our world as we know it. From the deepest ocean trench to the tallest mountain peak. It's about the oceans and continents, the tides and currents, the mountains and valleys. Geography as we know it would be fundamentally different. Next, let's ponder over gravity on a flat Earth. Gravity, that invisible force that keeps us grounded, works in a particular way because our planet is a geoid. It pulls everything toward the center, creating a downward force that we experience as weight. On a spherical Earth, gravity is consistent no matter where you are, be it the North Pole, the equator, or somewhere in between. But how might gravity behave on a flat Earth? Picture this. Instead of pulling everything toward the center, gravity would pull everything toward the middle of the disk. It's a bit like imagining a giant pancake with all the syrup, or in this case, everything that exists, being drawn towards the center. As you move away from the center, gravity's pull would become increasingly horizontal, rather than vertical. It's a bit like walking uphill. The further you move from the center, the steeper the incline. This shift in gravity's direction could have some rather bizarre consequences. Trees, for instance, would grow diagonally, inclined towards the center. Even walking would become a challenge as you moved further from the center, with every step feeling as though you're ascending a steep hill. Structures, too, would need to adapt. Buildings would need to be designed with a slant to counteract the horizontal pull of gravity. Imagine skyscrapers leaning inward, like they're in a permanent state of tipping over. And what about the oceans? Water, being fluid, would rush towards the center, creating a massive central sea. The further areas would be left high and dry. In this imagined flat Earth reality, gravity, a force we often take for granted, would behave in unexpected ways. It would shape our world and our lives in ways that are difficult to comprehend, reminding us of the fundamental role it plays in our existence. Gravity, a force we take for granted, could behave in unexpected ways. Now imagine a world without a magnetic field. Yes, that's right. A world where compasses are useless, where birds can't navigate their long-distance migrations, and where our precious technology is at constant risk from solar radiation. That's the reality we would face on a flat Earth with no magnetic field. You see, our planet's magnetic field, generated by the molten iron swirling around in its core, acts as a protective shield. It deflects a good portion of the sun's harmful radiation away from the Earth, preventing it from stripping away our atmosphere and making life as we know it impossible. On a flat Earth, this protective shield would be absent. Without the spinning core to generate a magnetic field, our planet would be exposed to the full force of solar radiation. The consequences? Well, they would be pretty dire. For starters, the lack of a magnetic field would disrupt animal navigation. Many species, from birds to sea turtles, rely on Earth's magnetic field to guide their migrations. Without it, these creatures could get hopelessly lost, disrupting ecosystems and potentially leading to mass extinctions. But it's not just the animals that would suffer. Our technology too would be at risk. Solar radiation can cause severe damage to electronic systems, potentially leading to frequent and widespread technological failures. Imagine your phone, your car, even your refrigerator all rendered useless by a sudden solar storm. And then there's the human impact. Without the magnetic field to shield us, we would be exposed to increased levels of radiation. This could lead to an increase in cancer rates and other health problems. And let's not forget the potential impact on our climate. With the atmosphere stripped away, Earth's temperature could fluctuate wildly, making life extremely difficult, if not impossible. So, as you can see, Earth's magnetic field plays a crucial role in protecting life and technology. On a flat Earth, without this protective shield, we could face a world of chaos and uncertainty. Without a magnetic field, life and technology could face dire consequences. Let's venture into the realm of climate and weather on a flat Earth. On a spherical Earth, our weather patterns and climate zones are primarily driven by the planet's rotation and its curved surface. Warm air at the equator rises and moves towards the poles. As it cools, it descends and cycles back towards the equator. This circulation, known as the Hadley cell, is a key driver of our planet's weather. Now imagine a flat Earth. Without the curvature, the Hadley cell would cease to exist. Weather patterns would become unpredictable, and the climate zones we know today would be dramatically different. In a flat Earth scenario, the sun would likely warm the center of the disk more than the edges, similar to how a lamp heats a table underneath it. This could create a single large tropical zone in the center, surrounded by progressively colder rings. The outermost ring could be a frigid, uninhabitable zone. These new climate zones would have an enormous impact on agriculture. Crops that are currently grown in specific regions due to their climate needs, like wine grapes in France or coffee in Brazil, might not survive in their new climates. Wildlife would also be affected. Animals adapted to specific climates might find their habitats drastically changed or even vanished. This could lead to an unprecedented scale of species extinction. Human life would be impacted as well. Cities built to withstand certain weather conditions might be unprepared for their new climate realities. Imagine New York City needing to cope with tropical heat or Moscow facing desert-like conditions. Furthermore, our understanding of seasons would be thrown into chaos. Without the Earth's tilt, there would be no regular cycle of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Instead, the intensity of the seasons would depend on your distance from the center of the disk. Climate and weather, the driving forces of life, would be dramatically altered. This is just a glimpse of how life might be on a flat Earth. But remember, this is all hypothetical. In our reality, Earth is a beautifully spherical planet, and we should strive to understand and protect it. Lastly, envision the course of technological advancement on a flat Earth. Would space exploration even be a concept in a world without a spherical planet to orbit? In fact, the very notion of orbit might not exist in our vocabulary. Satellites, the workhorses of our modern communication systems, would have to function differently, if at all. GPS, weather forecasting, international broadcasting, all these technologies we take for granted today hinge on a network of satellites orbiting our globe. On a flat Earth, we might have developed different solutions, perhaps more ground-based infrastructure, like a web of interconnected towers spanning across the surface. Telecommunications might have taken a different turn, maybe even slower to develop without the advantage of satellite technology. The implications are mind-boggling. The shape of our world, as it turns out, has had a profound impact on the trajectory of our technological evolution. Our technological landscape could have taken a completely different trajectory. To conclude, the most intriguing effect of a flat Earth would be the revelation that we've been living alongside millions of liars whose primary goal was to conceal this truth from us. In this journey of thought, we've pondered about a world with entirely different geography, where gravity behaves in an unfamiliar way, a planet without a magnetic field, and a climate and weather system that defy our present understanding. We've also envisioned a world where technological advancement takes a different trajectory, compelled by the flat nature of the Earth. Each of these aspects paints a fascinating, albeit surreal, picture of life on a flat Earth. One can't help but marvel at the vast difference a simple shift in shape would bring about. Thank you for joining us on this journey of imagination. If you have any thoughts or insights to add, please leave a comment. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions are greatly appreciated.